What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Widebody Nation. Let's talk leasing. Now, leasing, as you guys probably know, is much more complicated as far as calculating. I can't just spit you out a lease number here, but with the tools in this video, specific websites that I'm going to refer you guys to that are Dodge websites, you can actually calculate a lease payment on a car that will actually give you probably a good ballpark of what you'll be paying at the dealership, and it will also allow me to show you how to get an even better lease deal than you would if you just went right now. So, kind of a loaded video. If you already know some of the things in this video, I guarantee you're going to learn something at least. So, the first disclaimer that we have to get to, and then I'll do a quick plug for Destroyer1320.com because I'm trying to get all y'all protected from the car theft that is rampant in the MOPAR community. Quick disclaimer: on the Dodge manufacturer website, they have lease offers, but these lease offers are like the commercials you guys see on TV. They are like total marketing material. They are not really grounded in any semblance of reality, okay? And here's what I mean. When you guys see this on the website, it'll say lease a Hellcat for $500 and $525 a month or whatever, like right here. Challenger SRT Hellcat. Lease for $595 per month for 36 months and show disclosure, and then it says blah blah blah, this is for promotional purposes only. Basically what they're saying is it's basically fake, okay? These things are not fake. Power dollars is not fake, and this APR is not fake as long as you can qualify for the APR. This is just marketing. $595 a month for a lease that doesn't even have the mileage. It says 36 months. Total garbage. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you the websites where you can calculate a good lease payment for you so you can actually see how much you're going to be putting down, in what state, the taxes, and kind of all those factors that are kind of unique to a lease, even in factoring in your trade-in value if you guys want. And then also, we got to talk about 2021 versus 2022 because I got tons of questions on that around this time of year and well into the new year. So, with that being said, there are certain Dodge websites, not all of them, but certain dealer websites have this button right here. It says payment options. It's on a couple. I have a couple examples right here. When you click payment options, so like for instance, this is a Challenger RT Scat Pack Widebody, a 2021 still, and this one over here is for a 2021 Durango Hellcat. You can do lease calculations on these websites, like actual real lease calculations. So check it out. I'll do one for a Scat Pack because this is a Scat Pack territory. I chose this for a reason. It's 57 grand sticker, and this one is Hellcat territory, 95, 90 some grand. So I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Payment options. So when I click payment options, and this is not on every Dodge website, which is unfortunate because it is very, very useful. And maybe that's why it's not on there, or maybe it's just because their IT department isn't very helpful. Now, before we jump into these numbers, which these are very helpful, again, this is Ashboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which I'll put their link in the description, and then I'll also put Route 130 link in the description as well. But clarification to be made. Right now, today, January 8th, if you order a Charger or a Challenger, it will be built in a 2022 model year spec. Most of them that are showing up off the truck still are 2021s. The switch over to 2022 is very delayed, so as you guys can see, this is an in-transit 2021 right now. But if you go to the dealership right now, or after this video is made, you will be building a 2022. So, with that in mind, jumping in here. Okay, so you can calculate lease, you can calculate finance, you can calculate cash. The cash deals and the finance deals are not very complicated, which is why I want to focus on this lease calculator, because this lease calculator is actually very, very useful. It gives you your monthly payment up here, or down here. You just have to do a little bit of scrolling. But here's the kicker. It inputs the sticker price. You have a down payment right here, which you can change. your trade-in value. So if you have positive equity on a trade-in, you can factor that in here. If you have negative equity on a trade-in, let's just leave that out for a second. I guess you have to follow another one of my videos about negative equity on trade-ins. And then conditional offers. They have right here is returning lessee, and then lessee or loyalty bonus cash. So that would be like if you guys were, a returning Dodge or Chrysler lessee, which Stellantis, right? Because Stellantis bought FCA, so Stellantis is all of these Dodge, Fiat brands and all that. So I I would recommend not focusing on adjusted capitalized costs. It's just going to confuse you, but you can put your zip code in. So like let's say I was buying from Tennessee, which is where I am right now, I could put my zip code in and then it would actually calculate the taxes and fees based off my zip code, which is pretty helpful. So this is showing you the amount due at signing, which is taxes, fees, first month payment, and down payment, which you can manipulate. If you don't want to do as big of a down payment and you think you have great credit, then you probably don't need to do a down payment. My roommate and good friend, he got a deal at this exact dealership, and this was the tool I used to actually be able to tell him if it was even close to a good deal or not. So he currently drives a late 2020 Hellcat that he got new, that he leased for 36 months, 15,000 miles a month, and he is in that for under $800 a month. But keep in mind that was a 2020 normal Hellcat. It's not a Redeye, and this was back when power dollars were crazy. This is back when cars were plentiful on lots. So it's much different now. So I get it. This is not your Scat pack. This is not your exact Scat pack, or this Durango is not your exact Hellcat. But what you can do is if you are getting one of these in this price range from Dodge or from Chrysler or from Jeep, you can use this payment option button to calculate a very, or I should say relatively accurate lease payment, especially if the sticker price is within $1,000 or $2,000. This payment will be very, very accurate. Now, there's a couple more things. Like I said, down payment that's kind of up to you, kind of up to the bank, right? Because if you have great credit, they're probably not going to require you to make a down payment, but you could because it will lower your monthly payment, right? Because let's see, if we zero this out, monthly payment's going to jump up almost $300 a month. But you got to compensate for that somewhere, right? So here is another thing, and I noticed it on the Challenger, but remember, you're obviously going to want the best lease deal you can get. So generally speaking, 720 credit score is going to be at least where you want to be for like the top tier credit. This says 700. I would say 720. Tier 2, they have a very narrow, 20 points, 680 to 699. 660 to 679 is good, and then below that you're fair, and then below that you might not get approved. So you always want to be in search of that tier 1 lease. That is actually a lease term, a tier 1 lease. If you're in the lower tiers, your payment will be certainly higher, certainly. Here is a kicker though, folks. So check this out. They have this at 10,000 miles a month for 39 months. And the payment right now, as we have it sitting here, is with pretty much no adjustment right here, $739 a month. Now watch what happens when I crank the mileage up to 15,000 miles a month. We went from $739 to $782 per month, but we added 5,000 more miles a month. You just got to drive your car an extra 50% more. So I always recommend my friends and and the Widebody Nation and everybody like that, unless it's my enemy, I always recommend them to go for a more miles rather than less, so that you can go take that road trip, or you can drive your car to work and on the weekends to the gym, and on the weekends to your significant other's house. So 10,000 miles a year is not a lot at all. 12,000 is I had a 12,000 mile lease on my first lease I ever did, and I felt like I was counting mileage. Now luckily I'm in the military, so there's this whole military way you get out of leases when you get sent to overseas and stuff. So I benefited from that. But I highly recommend 15,000 mile a year leases rather than a 12,000 miles a year, which comes out to, instead of 1,000 miles a month, it's 150 miles a month, which makes a big difference. Now, check this out. So 15,000 miles, we're going to shorten the duration from 39 months to 36 months. Payment went down like crazy. We just went from 780 something to 572. Now, this might be a fluke because watch, I'm going to go down to a 27-month lease. Payment's going to jump up to 852. Okay? Here's my point. When you go to a dealership, there are things happening that you control, and there are things happening that you don't control. The bank, they use all types of algorithms. The dealership, they have sales quotas to meet. They have all these things happening. And it's your job to be smart enough and open and aware enough to try to synthesize all that so that everybody wins. And here's what I mean. If, for some reason, a bank is going to give you a Tier 1 lease for 15,000 miles a year and 36 months for only $572 a month, but then say you actually want the lease for 39 months, or that was what they quoted you originally, but it's for $782 a month, why in the heck would you do anything other than take this lease here, which is $200 cheaper a month for only 3 months less? And let's be honest, you're going to be getting out of that car in 3 years anyway, so you just go get a new lease, or you're going to go buy the car, or you're going to buy it off the lease. So, yes, if you're going to buy the car off the lease, that might impact what the residual value is on the car. So, yes, that is a consideration. But generally speaking, I have seen crazier things happen than this. So, have them bring out a spreadsheet, or have them, hey, if they want to do one deal at a time, say I want every lease option from 24 months all the way out to 48. I want 24 months. I want 27 months. I want 36 months. I want 39 months. I want 42, and so on. And then I want 12,000 miles a year. I want 15,000 miles a year. Because sometimes the jump from 12 to 15 is crazy, and sometimes it's nothing. And in this case, it is nothing. So, use these specific dealer websites. We have, Ashboro, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. They've got some Hellcats or some Scat packs on the way that are in the 50s, so you guys can do Scat pack calculations here. And then over here at Route 130 or whatever their name is, they've got a Durango. So let's mess with the Durango for a little bit. Remember, we got rid of the down payment here. Let's mess with the Durango. So we're at $1,579 a month at 10,000 miles a year. I mean, we only went up $60-$70. But that's for 50% more driving. 50%. Now that's I think we're at 36 months. Let's go to 39. Maybe we're at 39. Is it not updating? Okay, so this one is staying in the same. Okay, so 27 was a lot. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty, so this one is a lot more commonsensical. The last one was crazy. So 36 months is kind of the generic lease in my opinion. So I would go with that, but it didn't have the huge drop that the other dealership did for that 36 month, 15,000 mile a year on the Scat Pack compared to all those other ones that were like $200 more a month. So on the Durango Hellcat, we didn't see the crazy incentive, but on that Scat Pack we did. So that's just kind of a good example on how you want to work the angles when you get to the dealership. See all the options. It's not a rush when you get to the dealership unless you are going in there and you know what you want and you know exactly if you want what you want and you're willing to pay whatever, that's fine. But if you want the best possible deal, it might be hiding around the corner. You just got to ask for it. You just got to be smart enough and aware enough to recognize it. So to tie up this video, remember you guys need to get your cars protected at destroyer1320.com. That is right about, bang, bang, destroyer1320.com. Boom. That is exactly how they are stealing these cars when they push them out on tow trucks, when they push them through with other stolen cars and whatever it may be. Remember, the Dodge website is not super useful for leasing. It is for power dollars and it is for building your cars, but it's not for leasing. there are these two dealerships that I have found, and other dealerships have these helpful websites where you can actually do lease payment calculations that are within a stone's throw of a possible lease payment, as long as you're honest on here with trade-in value, with down payment or lack thereof, and then with credit score, mileage, and stuff like that. So I highly encourage you to use this. Now, when I submit it to the dealer, I've never done it that way before. I just did the calculations and then sent my buddy to the dealership after I kind of laid the groundwork for him. But that's just me. So, with that being said, make sure you guys, if you're looking for a specific vehicle, if you're looking for a 2021, you can still lease 2021s. Remember, people are kind of tripping out when they're hitting me up recently, because it's that time of year where there's 2021s, there's 2022s. You can still lease a 2021. You just have to go find it on the lot. You can't build a 2021 anymore. So don't even waste your time on the Dodge website unless you're trying to find one with the vehicle locator, which is search new inventory. So remember, go to that. Now, if you build one, like if you go to build and price, just build a 2022. You can't build 2021s anymore. So build and price 2022, vehicle locate 2021s. And you can still use cars.com, autotrader.com, use cargurus.com. CarGurus has the amount of time these cars have been on the dealership, which is super helpful. But that is pretty much it, folks. So appreciate you tuning in. Use code WBN on destroyer1320.com to get your Charger, your Challenger protected. It's how my Charger was stolen, and they still haven't found it. So appreciate you tuning in. See you guys, or stay safe out there, and see you guys for the next video.